Welcome to the Phantom Zone.
In this week's episodes, first is Resurrection. When Jonathan is awaiting heart surgery, Clark and his classmate Garret bond at the hospital. That is until his brother comes back to life the very next day, only to be dying again. Then, in Crisis, time-traveling phone calls leads us to the end of the Atom saga. Oh, and Lex is framed for a ton of murders. This is the Smallville Chronicles. Hello again, I am Lynn Gonzalez, joined as always by Alan Muir.
It's good to be back, even though
Yes.
I never left.
Nope, just like this show, we continue to exist. I actually just saw on one of my Facebook things from 8 years ago, like, you know, when they showed like, oh, this is a photo you posted 8 years ago. It was literally me watching Smallville. I don't remember. It was a season that had Green Arrow on it. It was like Chloe and Green Arrow. I was watching on my computer because I think it must have been... I don't think I ever saw like the last season until like way after it came out. So it must have been me really like, oh yeah, I forgot about the show. Let me go back and watch it. But
Yeah, because I remember the show. I remember watching, like, I remember hearing about the show while I was like during like in the middle of its run, but I didn't like start watching until the 10th season.
yeah, I watched it during the beginning, and then I think I dropped it around season 7 or 8, and then I watched like the last 2 seasons like years later.
Oh no, now I remember. I started watching I started with the first episode I saw was the JSA episode, and this is before I started reading comics, ironically. And I remember watching the Booster Gold episode.
Oh, okay. I actually don't mind their version of Booster Gold. Their version of Blue Beetle is hilariously bad.
He looks like something that would be in a Schumacher T-State movie.
Oh, he looks like a Power Rangers villain. Like, it's so big and bulky. It's just like, it's the same problem that they have with Doomsday. It's like, it's just like a Godzilla, like 1980s Godzilla villain. It's like, oh, this is just a giant foam suit.
Doomsday on which show? Because they've done it on Smallville. They've done Krypton, and they did BBS.
No, the Smallville version. Smallville version is still better than the BBS version. And sadly,
Eve is better than
yeah,
Batman v Superman.
I don't watch Krypton. I don't think you do either. But that picture is like, oh, they actually did a better version.
Well, the season 1 is up on DC Universe.
I don't have time. That just reminded me. I have not watched Doom Patrol yet, which I have to do that as well. That's on my list.
Yep, one more month till Swamp Thing.
Yep. All right, so why don't we jump into this first episode? So these are actually not two bad episodes. The second one's a little wonky. These two connect like hugely to each other and kind of lay a foundation for stuff for the rest of the season and like several seasons down the line as well.
Yeah, these 2 episodes or the next episode really like hard, like concrete sets up what's like the roadmap for the next 2 seasons,
Yeah.
or the rest of the season and next season.
Yeah, besides like the further issues of Jonathan's heart, but mostly it's the Luthor Corp stuff that like ties everything in. So this first episode, Resurrection, to kick it off, basically we have Dr. Scanlon, who's been in a bunch of episodes. He's the...
Did you catch the Easter egg with that character's name?
No, what is the...
One of the producers of the show is named Tim Scanlon.
Oh, okay.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, so he has been in season 2, he's in this season, and he ends up being in season 4 and 5 as well. He's kind of like the head surgeon, I guess, at Smallville Hospital. I don't know if they actually ever named the hospital. Is it like Smallville General? Or they just say like, oh, he's in the hospital. But basically, Dr. Scanlon's there, and he basically tells Jonathan, you know, after he collapsed a couple episodes ago, I think you need triple bypass, which is like crazy surgery to block like clogged arteries. Jonathan's reluctant, but Clark's like, are you dumb? Just do the surgery. You have family. What are you, an idiot? And so Jonathan's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do the surgery. So while in the waiting room, we meet a classmate that we've never met before, Garret Davis. Garrett's brother Vince is in another room. He has serious liver failure, and he's waiting for a transplant, but he's very low on the list. And while they're kind of talking about how much all this sucks,
Vince flatlines.
Yes, we got a cold blue. Doctors are rushing in, and basically they're like, "Bum bum bum, he's dead." And then as they wheel the body out, we see somebody typing on a keyboard, saying, "We got a fresh one. Do you want it?" Kind of a thing.
And then we got a very dumb looking, like sort of like what Edgar Wright used to do, where you have these quick cuts,
Oh yes, yeah.
like in Shaun of the Dead,
It's like the slam cut
Yeah.
to like something else. Yeah.
and in this, it's basically just them like zipping up the body bag, putting swapping it for something else, going up to the roof, getting into the chopper, putting it into the chopper, and flying off.
Yep. So from this point, we have Clark talking to his mom and basically like, yeah, so Garrett's parents also died. So Vince was his guardian. So he literally has nowhere to go.
And Martha,
Martha does what Martha does.
The exact line was, he did bring, the only thing that he's brought up has been or foster care. And Martha, as you said, doesn't care, doesn't like that word.
Yeah.
I mean,
she basically, throughout the entire series, the Kent farm is like the wayward home for random teenagers and children. It's like anytime there is like a loose child, they just like, we'll take them.
Or a stray dog.
Yeah, stray dog, loose child, even like adults without a home. They just randomly like stay at the Kent farm.
Or clones.
Several different clones, I believe. So yeah, they decide to take in Garret. And then this is when we get, like, again, the smash cut to Vince's body being taken to Metropolis. And it arrives at Dr. Tang's lab, who we met last episode, the one that was treating Ryan. They give him some magic juice in an injection in his chest, and he pops back awake. So we cut to Garret and Tark.
Yeah, Clark is like, do you want to talk about it? He asks him he asks Garret if he wants him to leave him alone. And Garrett's like, that's actually the last thing that I want to be right now.
Yeah. It's actually like the kid is playing, like, does a really good job with this.
Yeah, and he's just very good with the sympathy.
Yeah, and then Martha comes in and it's like, yeah, I just want to tell you that the crematorium called and you can pick up Vince's ashes. And Garrett's like, the fuck?
What the fuck?
He's like, Vince didn't want to get cremated? What is this bullshit?
He's supposed to be buried next to my mom and dad.
And yeah, they basically like bug out and they like see the file with Vince's signature. And then he's like, yeah, this is not the signature. You guys forged this. And they're like, I'm sorry. Like, and Clark's like, hold on, Garret, go wait outside. I'll talk to him. And the lady's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we cremated him. Like, tell your friend not to be such like a whiny little bit. Like the crematorium person was
being very bitchy.
Yeah. Oh my God. She was so bad. It's like, dude, this guy just lost his brother and is like
he has nothing left.
Yes. He is a mega orphan now because he was already an orphan. Now he has like nobody. And yeah, I was like flabbergasted by how nasty this woman was to him. She's just like, well, I don't care. It's already done. Get out of my face. Was like her attitude.
Oh man, if you think that's something, just wait until I get to like the episode I always talk about, Homecoming. Like Lois and Clark are like, Clark is like the big star. Like everyone's just treating him like he's royalty. Everyone's treating Lois like she's not like a nobody. And when Brainiac 5 takes him, or is like doing the whole "It's a Wonderful Life" thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Lois is talking to the woman who's handling like drinks, and then she goes through like Clark and Chloe, Clark and Lana, and then she says like calls Lois like the moth, so you're the moth then.
Oh.
And I remember it's like watching the commentary and like. They like the people who were doing the commentary. I forgot who it was exactly. They acknowledged that, man, she's mean.
Yeah, they do that every once in a while on the show where they just have like a random ancillary character who's just like a dick for no reason. It's like, oh, you're like really inconveniencing me because you're asking me to like do my job. But I feel like this is a thing they do on like a bunch of shows. It's like the only way to be like to not acknowledge the fact that this is something insane that happened is just like, I don't know, get out of my face. You're being like, you're in my way. You're like keeping me away from sipping on my coffee and eating my sandwich in the morgue. But yeah, it's like a thing of shows all the time. You can see it in shows today. But so from here, they jump to the mansion. Lex is on the phone with the North Korean embassy, which is not a thing because there aren't any anywhere except in China, maybe. And trying to figure out what happened to Dr. Tang. Chloe shows up and is like, yeah, I learned some stuff. 12 years ago, she married a guy who worked at LuthorCorp so she can get a green card. And Lex is like, shit, that means my dad got her the green card. So Chloe found out that from a guard working at the pharmaceutical building that it's been shut down for past 7 years. And Chloe's like, yeah, Lex, you should go. And Lex is like, well, why me? It's like, because you're you and you can get into places. And also, before you had your mind wiped, you told me to like not get involved with your dad. But this is like a pretty interesting thing. This is like when kind of mind wiped Lex is like figuring out like how shitty his dad is again.
Yeah.
So we pop back to the Kent farm. Clark and Garrett are like kind of talking, and Vince shows up and he's like, I woke up in the lab and then I ran away, so I need to hide.
Yeah, and he tells Garrett to get his things that they're leaving, and then he turns into a ghoul from Fallout.
Yeah, because he just like starts freaking out. He kind of falls over in pain, and then he starts bleeding from the eyes. They're like, "Oh shit!" And they take.
And then he literally turns like yellow.
Yeah, he gets like instant jaundice. So they go back to the hospital, and the doctors are like, "I don't know what the hell is going on. Wasn't this guy cremated? Oh, except he's literally sitting here in a bed right now." And they're like, "We have no idea what's going on. I don't know what's happening." And
that like his Vince's liver is like it's like rapidly like failing, and Garrett's like, I can't lose him again.
Yeah, so Garrett like freaks out. So Clark goes and visits his dad, who's waiting to get to heart surgery, and he wants to stay with Jonathan, but Jonathan's like, no, you need to like, you being here doesn't do anything. You need to like help this other kid because he actually needs your help, and maybe you can save Vince.
And then he talks to Martha about a promise that they made.
Yes, which ends up tying into the whole Jor-El thing as well.
Yeah.
So Clark meets Lana in a parking lot on the way out and tells her like, yeah, Vince was like doing this stuff with his eyes were bleeding, and she's like, oh shit.
And she freaks out.
Yeah, she's like, I've seen that before. And he's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, Adam, the same thing happened to him. So like Clark goes to Chloe at the torch because Chloe knows everything, because she's like, I don't even know how to describe her in the show sometimes. She's like read the script beforehand, I guess. And like, so she's just there as like a exposition dump. It's like, oh, I don't know what to do next, so I need to go to the exposition machine that is Chloe. And she's like, basically, oh, like, you know, Metropolis General only received 2 organs yesterday, a female. Both were female, so Clark goes to the like, basically is like, oh shit, I know what I need to do. And basically pops up at the helicopter pad and just like threatens the pilot to like tell him what the hell's going on.
Yeah, because it's illegal to use a helicopter for your own benefit.
And doesn't he have the guy like flies him out there and just like drops him off?
Yeah.
Which they drop him off at Metron Pharmaceuticals, just like Chloe had told Lex. Which Metron is the name of one of the new gods. So I'm guessing that was like a kind of little thing that they just threw in here.
Yeah, Metron is a character who he's always sitting in the Mobius chair.
Yes, he's like the all-knowing guy. If you've seen him, if you've ever watched the old Justice League Unlimited cartoon, he is in the second to last episode, I think.
Well, he appears...
He appears throughout, but he has like a big scene
with Lex
in like the second to last episode where he's just like sitting in his chair chilling. And Lex is like, hey, why don't you actually do something? And yeah, it's a cool scene. He's like a dude that's all in black.
And he also had his during the Darkseid War. There's Justice League event. Batman stole his chair.
Became the god of knowledge.
Oh god, that issue, that special issue where it's like Batman's just floating like he asked the chair to take him to the person who shot his parents, and he just psychologically destroys Joe Chill.
Oh, Joe Chill, yeah. He just like, and he shows him he's Bruce, and he's just like, oh my god, you're Bruce Wayne. It's like, yeah. It's like, what? I'm gonna tell him. He's like, what are you gonna do? Tell everybody that you created the Batman? And he's just like, no.
Yeah, and the big reveal during that whole event was that the Anti-Monitor was originally he had Metron's job before Metron had it.
Yeah, he is Morbius.
Yeah.
Or Mobius. What is it called? Yeah, Mobius. Yeah. And they also reveal the 3 Jokers that they completely have not talked about since.
Well, that's going to be in like 5 years after Doomsday
Clock is finally finished. Yeah. If you want to hear about that, go listen to our other podcast and our comics.
We'll plug it. We'll plug it at the end of the episode.
Yeah. All right, so Clark is at this Metron Pharmaceuticals. He uses his super hearing to see that Lex is inside confronting Tang. So he works his way into the facility and that she's doing research for Lionel. Lex interrogates her about the vial, and she's like, oh, it looks exactly like the one that
Adam
used, which contained blood platelets of unknown origins, which Clark is like, shit.
I'm gonna steal that.
Well, he's also like, you see the look on his face like, oh, that was totally my blood. That's my blood platelets.
No, he doesn't notice. He realizes it when he gets back, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought he kind of realized it here.
No, all he knows is that the vial.
The vial is what Adam took to kind of heal him.
And that he knows the connection between, or the similar connection between Adam and Vince. So his main concern is the vial, getting it to Vince or getting it to Garrett to have.
Yeah, and
And
He's super speed. I think this is like the fastest he travels because they don't even see him. This is like pure Flash thing where it's like Lex is holding it and then it's not there anymore.
No, it's on like some kind of tray or something.
Okay, I thought Lex was holding it. Yeah, it's on like a tray and then they just stick the poof. The
1 second it's there, next second it's gone.
Yeah, and I think Lex is like...
And Tang freaks out, like, she's like, where is it? What'd you do with it?
It's like, what do you mean what I do with it? I was just standing here.
And he does a similar thing in the Booster Gold episode when he's like doing his Superman the movie Clark Kent, like very fumbly, like awkward, like meek.
Mm-hmm.
He does a similar thing where he like I'm blanking on his name. He was Ted Cord.
Oh yes, Ted Cord.
Ted Cord he hears Ted Cord talking to Booster Gold like through the phone, and you just see a flash, you just basically see the wind machine go, and the file on the Scarab is gone.
Mm. So I will have to rewatch that, but I haven't seen that episode in so long. But to pop back in here, so we're at the hospital. The doctor is going to do the surgery on Jonathan when Garret shows up with a bomb strapped to his chest. He's basically... This is like very weird for a show to do, but he's basically like has like a suicide bomb on his chest, powered by, of course, none other than Meteor Rock.
Well, Pete explains to Martha that they use it like more boom for your whatever.
Yeah, because his brother worked at like a mining thing, I think.
He worked construction.
Yeah, because I think that's how they kind of like explain away how this high schooler is able to create a like bomb vest out of nowhere.
Yeah, so earlier in the episode he said, with Vince working construction, I never expected to lose him to a rare liver disease.
Yeah, I expected him to get like hurt on the job.
And then he comes back, and then Pete is saying that Clark can't help us. That stuff is laced with meteor rock. And he shows up, or Clark shows up to the scene. The sheriff is there, best sheriff in all of the CW superhero shows.
Well, yeah, most of the other characters aren't sheriffs. They're like us, but she is awesome. So yeah, Sheriff Adams is there. And Clark's like, I got this medicine. She's like, I'm not going to let you in there.
Yeah, she's like, I don't believe you. And
he's like, even if you don't, he will. And she's like, I guess you're right.
And like, he's like, I'm the only person that Garret will listen to. So
They do like a trade, don't they? Because that's like the only way she'll let him in. Because I feel like does he let everybody out, and then except for the doctors?
Except for the doctors and the patients.
Yeah.
And so he goes in. He notices the meteor rock on Garret, like in the bomb. He puts the vial on the floor and backs up. And once Garret holds the vial closer, it does the same effect, or starts to boil.
Yeah, it's actually a really cool effect because he's holding it in between his fingers. And I'm actually interested, though. I wonder how they actually got the effect, because it's in this little vial and it starts to bubble. I'm guessing that they did that. Yeah. And that's the only, that's when Garrett's like, oh, it's like nothing. And then Clark starts moving and he's like, oh shit, that is actually something. And he just I love that he's just he kind of puts it down. He's like, there. He's like, why aren't you going to hand it to me? He's like, you have a bomb strapped to you, guy. I kind of don't want to get too close to it. And Garrett's like, yeah, that's a good point. And this is also, I think, when we learned that Garret has a dead man switch on the bomb.
No,
Oh no, it's not, because he actually. Okay, yeah, I remember.
He accidentally, or it happened. His plan ultimately goes through, but it happens by accident.
Yeah. So the doctor gives, is it Vince?
Yeah, he injects him. Nothing's happening. So he tells him to get a liver. He says to someone else in surgery right now, get the liver from him and give it to Vince. And that person is Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, so Clark loses his shit and he's like, dude, we've done nothing but help you. Why are you going to kill my dad? And the doctor's like, that's not going to work, guy. He's like, I don't care, do the thing. And
then Clark starts talking to him, and he's like, doctor, you can't do this. And
the doctor's like, no shit, I can't do this.
No, his exact words were, I have 20 patients here, in the hospital right now, as we speak. I have no choice.
Yeah, it's like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah, and the thing that when Clark goes in to give the vial to Garret, Sheriff Adams has a sniper find a vantage point, and once you get a good shot, take it.
Mm-hmm.
So they all three of them exit the room. Garret is about to get shot. Clark is in the way. As soon as he moves, sort of like a semicircle,
I know, Garrett.
Garrett gets shot in the heart, and then he just like as he's doing the whole like dramatic like I've been
Falling
shot,
down.
and
Yeah.
then he presses the button. So Clark uses flash time.
That's exactly what it is. But he actually kind of does something ingenious at this point.
Yeah, he grabs a lead.
Basically
apron.
what you would wear if you're going to the dentist to get x-rays.
Yeah, and takes the bomb, wraps it in the bomb, and he removes it from Garrett, and runs away and throws it down a well or something. Something where there's a huge explosion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he runs to like that one farm location they have with the windmill and throws it down a well. And basically it explodes, and Vince and Garrett dead.
That windmill is causing a bunch of cancer, according to our president. Fucking idiot.
All right, so basically that ends that A plot. So Garrett and Vince are dead, and then we flash over to Metron Pharmaceuticals. So Lex is talking to Tang, who's explaining that Lionel ordered Adam Knight to be terminated from the program, but she felt bad because of her ethics. So ethically, she's fine with experimenting on like humans, but not with like just letting them die.
Yeah, so you just see a shot of, you don't see Vince, you see
Adam.
Goddamn character during the episode.
I know, because this is the problem when they introduce characters for like an episode that have never before been in there.
You just see Adam, like you see Adam in the shadows. You don't see his face, but you see a bunch of like bloody areas of like his back and everything.
Yeah, because what he was dying from, because from what I can understand is basically what they died from starts like re-affecting their bodies. So because he died in a fire, like his burns are returning. Is that what it is? Or is it like the symptoms from like the liver, like what Vince had? I'm actually thinking now it has to do with the liver thing, because Vince had a bunch of like weird bloody spots on him too. Like open sores. I'm guessing is that because of the reveal that we find out, which I think is in the next episode or like 2 episodes from now.
She mentions that the platelets can like they have a great ability to revive necrotic tissue, but it doesn't. It's sort of a bandage instead of a. It's sort of a like a bandage situation. Like it's not a cure to bring back the dead.
Mm-hmm. Which all of this ties into like the next seasons. Well, the next episode and several seasons from now too. Like what they are trying to do. Because all this experimentation ties back in.
Yeah.
But basically she's like, I'm working with you because I need to get out from your father's grip.
Then we go to Talon, where Lex finds Lana trying to it's like she's trying to like scrub away the entire existence of Adam.
Yeah, because this is her, basically, again, every boyfriend she has post Whitney that's not Clark is not a good person. They never dated. To quote Ross, they were on a break. Yeah, who? Clark and Lana? Or
no,
Lana and they kind of had like flirtations, but nothing ever happened. Which becomes interesting. I think it's in season 4 with like the Goofy Witch episode where like it's revealed, and I was like, that's kind of a weird reveal. When they have the weird coven thing, when we find out who is and who is not a virgin.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, that's like really creepy. I did not need to know that. But that's for next season. But basically, like, she's like, Lex is like, you don't need to worry about Adam again. You'll be fine. He's never going to harass you again. And then Clark
then we get to reveal that Clark is helping Jonathan leave the hospital and tells him and Martha that the mystery serum is from his blood that was given to Lionel by Morgan Edge.
Yes. Which it was fairly obvious when they said blood platelets. But I actually really like this idea that it's kind of,
because they don't really. I don't remember like reading any stories, like any Superman stories where they do something like this, where like they try to see if his cells can or his blood can.
It very much reminds me of like Ultimate Captain America. In many ways,
the Super Soldier serum.
Yeah, that they're trying to like they know that there's at least one person, so they're trying to replicate that person if possible, and that makes like the kind of like stuff that they do further down the line, like with Cyborg, make more sense. Which is kind of ties into the whole like Alexis trying to like push humanity forward. Although at this point it's Lionel.
Yeah.
But I do think so. To grade this episode, I would say this is like a solid B for me. Like there are definitely places where it could be better, but I thought the acting overall was very good.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even have to. I mean, this is like there was no Glover this week. Yeah,
no, but yet his shadow looms over the whole episode.
Like Darkseid.
Yes. Oh God.
That was just
That was
one. That was a terrible bit of season 10.
Yes. I would say this is an overall very good episode. And yeah, it ties in. Like, these two episodes are like basically completely connected. And then a lot of the stuff they set up ties into stuff later on in other seasons. So was there anything else you wanted to talk about with this episode before we jump into the next one?
Well, Tomo Pennicott, in his limited, like his extremely to the 10th degree, limited role in this episode is good. In the 2 or 3 lines he says. I mean, he gets to do more next season, or a few seasons whenever the actor comes back.
Yeah, he has like 2 episodes, I think, in season 5. I think we talked about it in the last episode. Like, he is like a genre like all-star guy because he's been in everything under the sun. As well as the kid that plays Garrett has been in a bunch of stuff too. They've both been in a ton of different things. Because I think the kid that played Garrett was in the Final Destination with our guest star last week.
Thank God Devon Sawa was never on the show.
He was kind of too big for this show at the time the show was going on.
Yeah, was this before or after Stan?
I'm not sure. This was 2004. This was right around when he was at his hottest, and then he like disappeared. So,
and turns out I was actually very close with my flash time. This was the first episode to feature Clark time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not bullshitting. This actually it literally says Clark time with the fluid-looking aura that Clark leaves behind himself while moving.
Yeah. Which is exactly what Flash Time is. Like, it's what's hilarious about that show. It's like a lot of the effects are the exact same effects from the show. All right. So why don't we jump into our second episode, Crisis, which this is basically the Smallville version of, oh my God, what is that Dennis Quaid movie? Is it where they have like the...
you're talking about the formerly hit show on CW.
Yes, Frequency. Oh my God, I forgot that they made that a TV show on here.
Yeah, they had I forgot Painless, who played Golden Glider on Flash. They had her in the lead role.
Yeah, so basically, well, in that show, movie, and this, there's basically some sort of magical cross-contamination of electricity. In this, it's obviously the meteor rock. So Clark gets a call from Lana,
which is later on, which is from like, not that it's like like 12 hours, 24 hours, something on the future.
Is it like 2 days or something like that?
That is a good question.
All right, but this is basically the call. So Clark picks up the phone, Teen Crisis Hotline, because he's...
Yeah,
Pete works at a teen crisis hotline to kind of be better for himself because he was a dick the last time we saw him.
It's his rehabilitation.
And he's also there because there are girls there, so he's not quite changed.
And one, tries, inaudibly flirts with them.
Yeah, so he brings Clark there because, of course. And then, so we cut to Clark. The phone rings and Pete's like, hey, pick that up. Clark picks it up. It's like Teen Crisis Hotline. And then it's Lana's voice saying, Clark? And Lana, Clark, it's happening. Are you there? Clark's like, Lana? He has a gun.
Yeah.
Please help me. Lana, what? Lana. And then it hangs up. And Clark's
and then we're seeing Lana running in the rain.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we are getting...
We see someone... We don't get a headshot.
Someone is in a coat or something behind with a rifle.
Either a coat or a jumpsuit.
Yeah, with a rifle.
And we see aiming at Lana and then ultimately shooting and killing Lana.
Yes. Which... This is the problem with time travel stuff, but we'll get to it. So this all happens. Clark obviously runs, and he finds Lana studying with Chloe at the Talon, just like, sup, what's going on? And he basically tells her, and they call Sheriff Adams the next morning, and she's like, yeah, this is kind of a low priority, this prank phone calls, but and then Chloe's able to get the...
She finds out the call was not completely pieced together, and...
Because there's a bunch of hand wavy stuff. So basically, because it's the Teen Crisis Center, they have some recording. They were automatically record calls.
Yeah, and
so she's able to magic hack her way into that.
There's a bunch of background audio. So there's the first thing that's figured out is Lana figures out that the background noise is rain, which
it hadn't rained in a while or something. They said
months, and Clark uses super hearing to hear Adam's voice saying yelling, "You lied to me."
Yep. And then they also hear a radio broadcast of the Vipers game.
Yeah, and it's 64-60 or something.
Which, if you hear this and you know it's going to be in the future, why no one is laying down some bets? Which I guess it would be basketball. Like that is a crazy high score, but of any other sport. So then we cut it with basically they're like, oh, this is a call from the future because the Vipers aren't playing that game until like a couple days.
It's not that they aren't playing. It's the player that.
Oh yeah, he's been out or something or benched.
He's been benched and he hasn't played all year or something.
Yes, this is the like Chekhov's gun of this episode. Because if you think that's not going to come back in later, you're wrong. That the guy got benched. So we pop back to Lex talking to Lionel about the blood serum or the vial of blood thing, and papers describing the trials and all this other stuff. And the body's hearing, and Lionel's like, do you want to shut the project down? And Lex is like, no, I want you to put me in charge of it. And Lionel goes behind Lex's back and is like, yeah, we need to clean up all this stuff, clear everything out, and get rid of it. And first thing Dr. Tang does is
she steals the serum and goes to Adam, tells him what gives him the lowdown on what's going on, and he's like, where's the rest of the serums? And she tells him this is it, that's all that's left. And then he grabs the what's the proper,
like a tourniquet? I think. Yeah, like the rubber tourniquet. Basically, we learn that it's gonna wear off in 12 hours.
Yeah, and then I forgot who it was, but I think it's possibly Clark and Lex.
They probably
somebody and Lex. They come in later, find out that everyone.
It's Clark and Lex because they're going to go check on stuff.
They discover everyone is dead, and Clark thinks that Lex's father or something had something to do with this.
Yeah, so basically, Adam took out Tang. He took out everybody else. Clark goes
brutally.
Clark goes to Lex and is like, yeah, this weird call from Adam, and then Lex is like,
I know where he is.
Or no, he says like, Clark says like, I know that you know where he is. And Lex is like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, like I was there, like I figured out where like thing came from, and because like I talked to the pilot and I overheard you guys. And they're like, all right, well, I'm not lying to you. I'm trying to protect you from my dad. And he's like, yeah, I'll bring you to the place. And then when they get there, Adam is not there and everybody's dead. Like, and the whole place is destroyed.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. And then, Lex goes to like talk to Lionel. It's like, you killed everybody. And Lionel's like, no, but now you're in charge of the cleanup. And Lex is like, no, clean up your own goddamn mess, which this obviously comes back in a little bit. So Clark goes to the Talon to tell Lana what he found.
And Chloe somehow magically has a contact at the phone company.
Yeah, because she basically, in their show, Chloe basically flirts with everyone off screen to get contacts with everywhere. It's basically, yeah, you called from the cell phone of this lady.
Gwen Burton.
Yeah, and Clark's like, you should hide out at the farm because, like, you'll be safe there, of course, because it's the farm. And they find out that the woman works at the medical center, and she's like, yeah, I don't have my phone. I'll listen to my husband today.
Oh, wait, can we just talk about the line when Clark is like, I think your phone is going to be used in a murder? And she's like, we have a good psych center, and I can take you there down to admitting. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, because he like shows her the stuff. It's like, it's really weird. And she's like, she calls her husband. It's like, yeah, some guy's here saying that someone's going to do something with your phone. And then while that's going on, he's like, hey, buddy, do you need help? And then the guy, it's Adam, like cracks him over the head with a...
No, he doesn't, like, he's talking to Clark and everything. And he just gets hit in the head with a tire iron.
Yeah, and then Adam... Yeah, it's pretty good because, then like Adam takes the phone and his overalls. And
the car.
And
he takes his phone, his outfit, his car.
So Clark arrives. We don't see it, but apparently, like, the guy would be just in his underwear, laying on the ground, because he super sped away and just like kind of left the woman with the phone. And she's like, "Honey, what?" So that's now happened because they were like, "Oh, if we can prevent any of these things, maybe we can change the future." So Clark.
This is basically the whole Savitar bit of season 3 of The Flash.
So, even this season too, they did like an episode with this kind of, it's a problem with time travel. So Clark calls Chloe at the farm and is like, yeah, the phone's been stolen. So there's a storm coming. And he's like, I'm going to go to the torch and listen to the police scanner. Jonathan insists that she take his truck.
Yeah. And I like the line, like, he doesn't like, I don't want you getting stuck crossing the creek in your car.
Yeah, in your little car. And she's like, good point. Because I think, what is she driving? Like the Beetle, right? The Volkswagen Bug?
Yeah. And that would just sink. Yeah.
So then we pop back to Clark is at the mansion with like a detective from Metropolis, and they're like trying to find, basically they're like, we think we're here because we're looking for evidence of 8 homicides at Metron Lab, and we know that the 2 of you are there. And then he's like, you're going to remain for questioning, which this one guy, I can't remember which detective he is, but he's in everything.
He was prominent on the Expanse.
He was also in Jessica Jones season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the guy that works across the street that like or
the
works
the rival
the rival. Yeah,
investigator.
he's been in a bunch of things. And it's basically like Clark is like, you gotta let me leave, and they're like, we don't have to let you do anything.
And he brings up,
He's
well,
like, you're holding a minor.
yeah, and he's like, okay, you can go, but don't take any vacations or something.
Yeah, he's basically like, I'm under 18, and you're not letting me leave or talk to my parents. This is super illegal. But yeah, basically don't go away. Adam like finds Chloe at the torch and is like, I need to know where Lana is because he hid a serum in the apartment. And she's like, and I'm not going to take you to Lana. And he knows that she's driving the pickup. So she's like, oh, I bet she's at the farm. And basically they go to the farm and Jonathan sees Chloe in it. It's like, oh, I thought that she left. And I wonders why she isn't coming inside. And Chloe's just trying to give the eyes like, he's in the goddamn car. Why aren't you like doing something?
Well, no, she's bound and she has her mouth,
her mouth isn't taped up, but they can't hear her. But she's basically like giving them like a look, like, wait, like I'm not here of my own fruition. And they're like not paying attention to it.
Yeah, she's all but saying ambush, ambush, ambush.
Yeah, which then Adam comes around and cracks Jonathan in the head.
Again, CTEs, man.
Yeah.
This whole cast is going to be in like a mental home.
Yep. So he takes the rifle. Jonathan walked to the truck, and that's when he jumps in from behind. He throws Chloe out and threatens to kill them both unless they tell him where Lana is. And basically, Lana comes out and it's like, I'll take you. I put all your stuff in a storage facility. When they get there, there's obviously like it's not there because it was inside one of the books, and he like freaks out, tells her it's stealing, and they struggle, and
she gets the phone.
Yeah, and runs away. Then we cut back to the mansion. So they're looking through the surveillance video with Dr. Tang. When they find memo signed by Lex, looking like he's the director, he realizes he's being set up. And this is when Clark's getting ready to leave because he hasn't left yet. This is when he does that whole thing.
It's 6460.
Yeah, and Clark is like, "Oh man, it's the game. It's like the time." And the guy is like, "Oh man, I can't believe what's his name got hurt." And is like, "Do you know who they're going to put in?" And Clark's like, "Random guy I heard earlier in this episode." They're like, "Yeah, how'd you know, guy?" And he like is like, that's when he gives the whole like, "You can't hold me here." So Clark goes to the Teen
Crisis Center and gets the call, and a power line crashes on top of telephone service box. And there's a short, and they find out and Clark finds out that the mix of the electrical short and the meteor rocks nearby
creates time travel phone calls.
Well, it's a possible reason for the time warp of the call.
So he's able to get the power line out and then continue talking to Lana. And it's like, where are you? And she like tells him at like the facility. And then he runs and then super speeds. He takes the bullet.
Which I'm just saying, even though it's like 7 seasons from now, the way he takes the bullet, it's the exact same goddamn way he does in the Booster.
Yeah, he like comes in and just like eats it. Like he like takes it in the back.
No. And he does the whole.
Does he catch it?
He catches it in his chest, or no, his upper body. You see it bounces off of him. You see a hole in his shirt, which he zips up his jacket, and Adam just simply collapses. And he also has jaundice, apparently.
Yes, because everybody that they've been working on has the same liver disease,
they just call it a rare liver disease. That's all.
Yeah. And basically, like, he walks up and he's like, Adam's like, I saw you take that bullet. Now I know why Lionel sent me to spy on you. And it's like, you're never going to escape his, like...
he knows why Lionel sent him to watch Clark, but it's too late. And Adam predicts that Lionel will not stop, and it's only a matter of time before he discovers what Clark's abilities.
Yep. And so back at the mansion, just as the detective is about to place Lex under arrest, we have Agent Loader, who will be involved in this entire season, from the FBI come in, and it's like, yeah, you guys need to like get out of here.
And then Lex, he says, "I'll help you do the biggest bust of your career in exchange for immunity." And Loader's like, "What's that?" And it's, "I'll help you bring down my father." And then Lionel's talking to a new doctor about to take over the liver disease stuff. And that's where we find out that the reason that it's specifically liver disease, Lionel has that, it's killing him, and
he's trying to find a cure.
Yeah, he's basically trying to pull a Wayland from Prometheus.
Yes, But this is actually my favorite scene in the episode because
the gun.
because before the call comes in, he's like sitting on his couch with like his glass of scotch or whatever,
Listening. He has opera music on.
Yes, I think he has like Ave Maria, and then he opens up a box, and it's like a beautiful like pistol. He picks it up. He stares at it.
You get a nice shot of like a point of view of the gun.
Yeah, just like up at him because he's like not like Lionel we've seen. His hair is a mess. His suit, like his shirt is unbuttoned. His tie, I don't even think he has a tie on. He just looks completely disheveled and defeated, and like that sweaty grossness.
Yeah.
And he basically picks it up and he takes I think he takes the clip out, takes out all of the bullets except for one, and like cocks it and is putting it in his mouth when he gets the call.
Okay, I found the music that he's listening to. He's listening to George Bizet.
Oh yeah, it's Les Pecheurs de Perles. Right. My French is not good because I never took it.
We should have had Sayer on this episode.
But yeah, so like that's how the episode ends, and it's really interesting, and it's completely like a ripoff. Well, I don't even know when the timeline is, but it's basically the same kind of idea of Frequency, which I actually really like as a movie. I like the concept of it.
Well, in Frequency, I mean, there was a gun, and a guy's hand got
blown off. Yeah, that scene was awesome. Yeah.
No, but the fact, like, it's creepy. Like,
when it shrinks and shrivels and stuff, and he's like, whoa.
Yeah, in like the feature when he's trying to choke him and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's like a ton of interesting stuff in that because it's basically the idea of a serial killer who ends up getting stopped by happenstance because he ends up dying in a hospital. So that like all of his murders go undiscovered. It's basically supposed to be like a Son of Sam type character, but because the main character by this time travel thing ends up having his father's life saved, his mother ends up being at the hospital instead of home with him as a kid, and thus saves the serial killer's life, whose victims go from like 3 or 4 to like 17, including his mother. And you also get like a cool thing of like his like the bleed, like the memory bleed.
Yeah.
And there actually ends up being like 3 different contemporary timelines at the end. Because there's one, it's the original one where his dad's dead and his mom is alive. The second one where his mom is a victim, but his dad still ends up dying way later on of cancer.
And then because his Dennis Quaid dies in the movie he dies, he's a firefighter. He died in the first timeline, dies in the fire.
Because he turns the wrong way. Like if he would have turned right instead of left, he would have been like at an exit point and not gotten killed in the fire.
The second timeline, his mother is a victim. His father dies from the fire.
From cancer.
The smoke inhalation.
Yes. No, I think it's from smoking because he has cancer. He died of lung cancer.
And then the third timeline, everyone's all happy.
And, oh my God, what is the actor's name? Because he was on, it's the guy who played Jesus.
Oh, Jim Caviezel. He was also on Person of Interest.
Yeah, that was the show I was thinking of. Yeah, I can't remember. The guy that was in, he was in the one that was in Flash like a season or 2 ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie. Yeah, and then he has a kid at the end of it.
Have you ever seen Reno 911?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Do you remember any of the Frequency skits?
No.
There was a guy who's his place would be he was constantly calling in like about emergencies and stuff, and he's like, my movie dropped in there, and like, what's it about? And it's like, and it's basically just a ripoff of Frequency, and then he calls the cops, then he calls the firefighters, they both arrive, and like, no, it's like the second or third time it's happened. And like one of them turns out to be a fan of Frequency. Like it's one of the great.
Oh well, everybody from that show has gone on to do like awesome stuff. Like every single person on it. Like it is a great show. I do love that the one guy was the voice of the Taco Bell dog Chihuahua.
Really?
Yes, the one actor. Yeah, the guy that's like the Spanishy guy.
Oh, the guy that played Bane in Justice League Doom.
I think so.
Oh, we got a return, sort of a dead character in this episode.
Oh, who popped back in?
It wasn't necessarily a character, more like something that was attached to that character. Did you notice the license plate of the car Adam stole?
No, I did not.
DDI 035, which is license plate of Principal Kwan's car.
Oh, wow. So I guess they just reused that, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and this is the second episode where Clark changes destiny.
He did it just a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. And I like the bit where Clark, when he hears Adam, like he uses his super hearing to hear Adam say, like, yell, "You lied to me." He's he tells Chloe he can hear so well because he missed too many Linkin Park concerts.
Huh. That dates the show.
And the thing is, it's like the lead singer of Linkin Park, Chester Bennington, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
He screams during his songs.
Oh yeah, I actually randomly I have seen them live. It's a very strange concert lineup that I went to. It's like one of the first concerts I ever went to. It was Summer Sanitarium. It was called. The headliner was Metallica, and then before them was Linkin Park. Before them was Limp Bizkit, and before them was the Deftones.
Did Limp Bizkit play My Way?
No, but they were actually not the worst. The Deftones were the worst band I've ever heard live. They were unlistenable.
I don't see, or I believe that.
Yeah, Linkin Park was. I mean, Limp Bizkit was actually like kind of fun to watch because he like this was. I'm trying to think what year this was. This would have been like 04 or 05.
Okay, so
like,
this is like post
Woodstock. Yeah,
no, I was gonna say post their WWE stuff.
Oh yeah. This is like right before they kind of really went away. And Linkin Park, this was probably around their second album because this was before
Transformers.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think this was like right when that really bad Metallica album came out, Saint Anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what year?
Like 04?
Saint Anger came out 03.
Okay, so there was that whatever summer followed it.
Yeah, the only reason I know that is because Saint like the song Saint Anger was the theme to SummerSlam 03.
Oh god. So yeah, they must have been 03, so I would have been a junior in high school. I would have been going to be a junior.
I was still in elementary school.
Goddamn youngin'.
And the thing is, like a couple months later, in like, do you remember the Survivor Series of 3? It was like Team Bischoff versus Team Austin.
No. Trying to remember. This is around when I stopped watching wrestling.
They basically did.
Is Austin the bad guy here?
No. Bischoff was.
Okay, so this is post when they bought WCW.
Yeah, this is like like a year and a half, 2 years after. Yeah, it's basically 2 years after they ended the Invasion storyline.
Okay, yeah, this is around when I would have stopped watching. So like, I'm not sure what happened.
Well, it's a good thing because the big thing with like near the end of 03 and beginning of 04, they were trying to push Hardcore Holly to be a main eventer.
Oh, I loved Hardcore and Crash Holly. That whole like hardcore belt thing was awesome.
The main like the second to last match of the card was Team Bischoff, which was Mark Henry, Chris Jericho, Christian, Scott Steiner.
Oh man,
someone else.
Big Papa Pump.
Yeah, against Team Austin, which was the fifth guy was Randy Orton.
Okay, yeah, I think I stopped watching right because I never saw Cena. Like I stopped watching before Cena became a thing, or Randy Orton really. So I probably wasn't watching anymore.
The ironic thing. Team Austin was the Dudley Boys, Booker T, HBK, and Rob Van Dam.
Ooh,
which is basically like four out of the five Invasion or Alliance team.
Yeah, it's a weird team.
And it's like Shawn Michaels versus like he's gonna pull off a big upset. Batista comes back and Batista bombs him.
Yeah, this is definitely I definitely watched Batista wrestle.
I know a joke. Started crying.
You were a little kid.
I was like 9.
Yeah, it was still real to you.
Yeah, because I literally went down. I went down to my mom and said, "I'm not going to Florida for Thanksgiving." It's still real to me. Damn it!
I can't even remember what the last show I saw was, like wrestling thing.
Honestly, if I'm not sure if it's on YouTube, but it should be. The last night, or by the time this comes out, NXT Takeover New York. Pete Dunne and Walter had a like 4 out of 5, 4.5, if you will, star match.
Oh wow!
And like Pete Dunne had like he held the NXT or the UK title for nearly 2 years, and like Walter, who's like a big guy, he basically flew through the air like a feather and did like a giant like snooker splash. It was amazing.
Awesome. Oh, before we spin out too much, let's just quickly talk about these next 2 episodes, which are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The first one is the final episode with the original, my original Superman.
Yeah, the last one with Christopher Reeve.
So basically, yeah, this is Clark figures out that he hears like a message or something, and Dr. Swan contacts him, and then we get more into this Lex working with the FBI. And then in our second episode, Truth, this is when Chloe is
she gains the ability, one of the many, or her second or her first of two meta powers.
Yes, basically she becomes a walking truth serum, which turns really bad. But this first episode is also where we get the beginning of what will lead into the dumbness of next season. A storyline with her, with Jensen Ackles. And then
it's also the beginning of the whole Traveler.
Yes, like the Traveler storyline.
Yeah, which goes on from like season 5 or 6 to season 10.
Yep. And then the second episode is
also where we get a funny, like, you think you're gonna get like some, like, Clark's secret is gonna get revealed, then and then it just becomes something really stupid.
Yeah, but this is them trying to find, like, pushing Clark and Pete further and further away so that Pete can leave the show, and also shows like how powerful Lionel is. So they're both pretty good episodes. Legacy is especially like a really good episode.
Honestly, I really want to talk about. I can't wait till we get to episode 19, which is Memoria, where.
Oh yeah, that'll be the one after the next one.
That one, every time I watch the ending to that episode, like, I cry, I end up tearing up a little because like, it's just like, even though I shouldn't, because that the song that they used was used in the crappy Daredevil film.
Oh, is it the Evanescence song?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a band I could forget for forever. But yeah, we only have like 6 episodes left to cover before the end of season 3. And we start making our way towards the much more interesting and bitter seasons. We're only 6 episodes away from getting Lois Lane. So, yeah. So definitely check or like wait for that.
Oh God, I just looked at the synopsis, like the teaser for Forsaken. God damn it.
Oh yeah.
I really hate that character.
Yep. Yeah, I think that is the episode when Pete leaves, isn't it?
Episode.
Yeah, that's the one. That's Pete's last episode. Well, last as like a character, like a main character on the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't forget to check out other shows. So every Thursday on the Phantom Zone that you're listening to right now, we have And Now Comics, where we talk about comic books and basically everything geeky that doesn't get covered in the other shows. And then every Thursday, as part of the every couple of Thursdays, as part of the Legion of Tunes as part of the Los Horror podcast empire, where we talk about everything animated. Our next episode will be my pick, which is the 2002 MTV cartoon Undergrads. And then, Alan, you also have a show on Los Horror Games.
Yeah, well, by the time this episode comes out, hopefully episode 22, 23, next episode will be out. We'll be talking about the Borderlands reveal, and I will be continually pimping out, or I'll continually not shutting up about LB19.
Mm-hmm. I've been really enjoying it.
I may bring up my secret shame, like the game I feel embarrassed that I play it because of the type of game it is and like the genre. All
right. I'm interested to know. So I'll definitely be checking that out as well. And don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, hit the little notification bell on YouTube, and look for everything. Just search the Phantom Zone, join the Facebook group, search Los Horror, the Los Horror podcast, and all the other podcasts.
Almost forgot, on the Los Horror Games YouTube channel, by the time this is up, the Walking Dead show miniseries will be done. And episode 1, or both episodes, the 2-parter Ties That Bind of Walking Dead season 3 will be up, which is on the road to season 4, which is the final season. So look for that. I got incredibly depressed at the end of it.
Oh man,
it does have Jesus.
All right, so we will catch you guys in the next episode. As always, I'm Lou Gonzalez.
I'm Alan Muir,
and this podcast stands for truth, justice, and the American way.